The effects from a cyber attack on the UK's NHS 111 system could take until next week to resolve. It affected the phone lines and electronic referrals to out-of-hours GPs. And the service, of course, helps people get right advice and treatment when they need it. NHS England said disruption was minimal. Well, I'm joined now by Ross Brewer. Ross is a cybersecurity expert and commentator and Vice President of AttackIQ's international operation. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for coming in. Is this common, these kind of attacks?
Yes, we're seeing an increasing escalation, and I think this could be ransomware. We don't know at this point, it's still unfolding, but we've seen 470 million ransomware attacks last year, which is as much as the last 5 years combined. So we're seeing a massive increase, and with the geopolitical situation at the moment, that's adding to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard the Defence Secretary talk about a modern British Army safeguarding us against attacks like this, that we need to think out of the box, not traditional ground warfare. But who is actually, or what is behind attacks like this? Is it some person sat in a bedroom somewhere in the world, or is it some kind of more complex operation?
It's people, individuals sitting in bedrooms that want to go heroes, have a go heroes, I should say, but it's also organised crime. Government institutions, government entities get into this as well, but it's typically organised crime because there's money, especially in financial services and healthcare records such as the NHS. Those are highly valuable. The personally identifiable information is highly valuable. So it's organised criminals making money out of this.
Yeah, this is more of a question for the government and the NHS, but maybe you can enlighten us. So how was this able to happen when there is such sensitive information on the 111 line?
It's sadly happening too often in critical national infrastructure because organisations are spending too much money sort of putting in defensive capabilities, but they're not validating them and testing them and checking the readiness of their people and their processes and their technology to make sure that they can withstand and repel such an attack.
So, in your experience, is enough being done then to safeguard our private information, but also the infrastructure of this country?
No. What we see on a daily basis is organisations are not able to actually withstand pretty low-level hacking attempts, and we're seeing, a great deal of organisations compromised. They're losing personally identifiable information, they're losing financial information, they're being taken out of business in terms of their infrastructures being brought down, and the actors that are doing this and the techniques they use is well known now, but there's not enough being invested in actually validating that these organisations, the information technologies that they're invested in, the security technologies, are actually correctly configured, correctly prepared in such a way that their people can monitor and actually repel these attacks.
So rogue countries or countries that we're in dispute with, don't need to name them, it would be in their interest to disrupt British society and how it operates and can continue. But also, as you mentioned earlier, they get information, particularly from databases and medical phone lines like this one. What is that information actually then used for? There'll be a lot of people worried this evening. We have been assured not to worry, but there will be people worried about who's got their personal private medical details, address, phone number, and goodness knows what else.
And typically we would have jumped to think about the fact that this is a nation-state attack. And more often than not, as I said, it's organised criminals. And what they do with that information is you can sell personally identifiable information, you can sell home addresses and records in terms of NHS numbers and things like that, because
so it's leads for cold calling and selling people things.
Exactly, right? Social engineering as we call it, where you call somebody and you've got all this information, you say, I'm calling from the NHS, I've got you went to the doctor on this date, and then they say, well, could you just give us your password for your email system or something so we can fix something for you? And if it's a vulnerable person, an elderly person, they might go, okay, well this is legitimate, and unfortunately that leads to a greater problem.
Ross, fascinating and frightening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.